I just started working on my game. I never worked on my game as much whenever I was in college, in junior college or in high school, because I was like, man, I ain't finna be a pro. Like, I'm from Tomball. I'm not a McDonald's All-American. I had to go to JUCO. Like, I doubted myself. That's why it's funny whenever you hear people say, oh, I knew Jimmy was gonna be that. Stop fucking lying. Like, I didn't even know that I would be here.
It's not enough for Jimmy Butler to be good. It's not enough for him to be an all-star. Jimmy Butler has greatness written all over him.
He has got that dog in him. Trust me, he is clutch closer on defense and offense.
He's as tough as they come.
He is a winner. In particular, he's a winner when it's hard.
His will to win is remarkable. Every young player coming into this league should study footage on Jimmy Butler.
Holds it out against Bogdanovich. Jimmy starts to drive, step back in the air.
Oh, heavy step back and kiss myself. Big time plays make big time plays. Woo!
Butler.
Return to practice for the first time with the Wolves, and I'm just gonna read a little bit of Adrian Wojnarowski's report on what happened there. That you were loud, emotional, passionate, we like to say, targeting Coach Tom Thibodeau, teammates like Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. That you told GM Scott Layton, quote, "You effing need me." How would you describe what happened today?
A lot of it's true. A lot of it is true, but you got to think. I haven't played basketball in so long, and I'm so passionate, and I love the game, and I don't do it for any other reason except for to compete and go up against the best to try to prove that I can hang. So all my emotion came out at one time. Was it the right way to do it? No, but I can't control that when I'm out there competing. Like, that's my love of the game. That's raw me at my finest, me at my purest. That's what you're gonna get inside the lines. And
I was going to say, is it not the right way for it to come out? Do you think it was the wrong thing to do, or was
No.
it an okay thing to do?
I think that I was honest. Was I brutally honest? Yes. But I think that that's the problem. Everybody's so scared to be honest with one another. If you didn't like the way that I handled myself in practice, one of the players come up to me. Somebody say something. Anybody. I'm not going to take it offense. It's not personal. Mm-hmm. Jimmy, you shouldn't have done that. Yeah, you're probably right. I would have said, I ain't hooped in I don't know how long. I mean, I'm passionate about it. I love the game, and I love to win. And that's all I was out there doing, was competing, playing hard, doing what I'm supposed to do on the basketball floor.
You were in Minnesota with Jimmy Butler, Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
We want to know about what really happened at the practice, because we got bits and pieces here, and somebody said this over there. I need to know, the people really want to know what really happened and how did it happen at the practice?
I was gone at that point. Remember, I only stayed 1 year.
Okay.
But Jimmy called me.
Okay.
He said, man, if you could have been at this practice here. They said he came in there. He came to the practice, I believe, after it got started. And they were kind of shocked to see him because I think he was coming off an injury or something. He came in there. And I'm going to tell you the coldest part, and I don't know if Jimmy said this, I think he had his Rolex on while he was killing everybody with the ball. I think he had a Rolex watch on while he was killing people, picking them apart in practice, then walked off. It was classic from what I heard.
So why didn't Jimmy, like you said, you're an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Listening to Jimmy, watching Jimmy, Jimmy is also an acquired taste. But you would think if something tastes good, you would like, okay, I'm going to at least try it. Why don't you think Jimmy worked in Minnesota?
I think Jimmy, knowing him and playing with him, Jimmy's all about hard work. He's all about getting better. He's all about team. And if he doesn't feel that from everybody, then he's already rubbed off the wrong way. You got to remember, Jimmy's a self-made superstar.
Right.
JUCO, had to really grind. If you know his situation when he had to come up through, he wasn't one that was, prodigy as a kid and like knew what this was going to be. He made himself there. Even when he came to Chicago, he's a defender first. He got minutes by being a defender. So he respects the grind. I say that to say this. He respects the grind. He respects the game. He respects people that put the work in. And he respects no agendas. It's all about winning. And when he went to Miami, I told him, I said, you were built for Miami 20 years ago. You didn't even know it, but the way everything you stand for and what you're about and how they go about their business, he was a Miami Heat player. So I think those things rub him the wrong way. If he sees anybody not fall in line with all those things, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to make every shot. But you're going to try hard. You're going to put your team first, and you're going to work hard. And if you don't do those things, Jimmy's off you.
You've had as many hurdles as you have blessings, probably for enough for 10 people. Isn't that the truth?
It is, but I wouldn't be the guy that I am today. I feel like the obstacles and everything I had to go through to get to where I am that made me who I am, I wouldn't change any of it.
Like every good country song, there's life, there's love, and there's heartache. Jimmy Butler's story starts in tiny Tomball, a town of about 10,000, just 40 miles outside of Houston. True or false? Jimmy Butler, NBA cowboy. There it is.
There it is. True.
And the belt buckle.
And the belt buckle.
Texas forever?
Texas, you know it.
At home, life wasn't that simple, mostly because at times there wasn't one. By 13, Jimmy was out on his own, bouncing from couch to couch, until the summer before his senior year in high school, when he met a freshman named Jordan Leslie.
He doesn't open up too much, but I mean, you kind of get the gist of it. And I mean, I was always like, man, you can stay tonight. My mom won't care. And then I'd just be like, oh, just one more night. And it just kind of developed into a week and then a month.
For Jimmy, the transition was both cautious and quiet.
He hid from us. He stayed upstairs and wouldn't come downstairs and send Jordan down to get him food. So I guess he thought if he wasn't seen, no one would know he was there.
I felt like if nobody knew I was there, they couldn't get tired of me.
He never left. A house became a home. Friends became family. And with their love and support, Jimmy started to flourish on and off the court.
It is hard because, you know, people say you just take a child you don't even know. And, you know, and people think different things and say different things. And not to say that someone didn't come to me and say, oh, don't let him in. He's supposedly he's done this. You've got to go with your gut. He's brought more to us than ever we could bring to him.
There it goes.
Goodness gracious.
I did pretty good for a long time.
That's them. That's family. That's what that is. And, you know, people say, oh, that's not blood. Well, I feel like family is who you love, you know, who you always want to be around, who's there for you with your holidays, who's there for your first game, for your first start, you know, things like that. And if you were to ask me those questions, they were always there.
I committed to St. John's, Q committed to DePaul, and I got sucked in by Midnight Madness. What was the reason that you chose Marquette?
You know, you went JUCO first, so you went a different route totally. I wasn't about to get the hate.
But you was though.
It's coming. It's definitely coming. I wasn't going there. I was going to
explain your JUCO too.
Yeah, I want you to explain that whole.
It's a long story, but you know, to cut it all down. When I went to JUCO, I played with this guy named Joe Foles, who had already committed to Marquette in November. So when I get there, you know, I went to Tomball right outside of Houston. I shot the ball every time. And I was like, man, can I really compete with the best of these guys? You know, JUCO was tough, like dog eat dog. Man, if you pass the ball, you might not get the ball. Like everybody trying to get to the next level. So me and this Joe Foles, we ended up being roommates. You know, later on down the story, we ended up being the two best players on the team. But, you know, I come out the first game and I scored 33. And I was like, damn, I scored 33 in, you know, college, JUCO, but college. I was like, shit, man, maybe it's not a fluke. I come out the next game, I was like, man, all right, let's see if last game was a fluke. 37. And I was just like, oh, you know, maybe I can hold my own. Buzz came in. He was assistant at Marquette under Crean at the time. And I was always around Joe, so he always would speak to me, be nice to me, yada, 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 yada. And then one day, you know, I'm playing well, so I got all of these schools talking to me, offering me now. He comes up to me, he's like, you know what, if I ever had a head coaching job, like, you would be a player that I would want to come, you to come play for me. I'm like, man, get out of here, man. Crean ain't going nowhere. Like, Crean had D. Wade.
Shout out Coach Crean.
You know what I'm saying?
He was me when he was in Michigan State in school, when I was in school. He was under Izzo before he got all the other stuff.
See?
Me too. Yeah, so he go way back.
And I'm like, man, good dude, but I mean, Crean is there, like your assistant coach. Dude, Crean leaves, go to Indiana. Buzz gets the job. I'm the first person he calls. Like, and he always had told me the truth and all of this. So, you know, without even visiting, I went to Marquette. I didn't even know that.
That's crazy.
I didn't know where
Marquette was.
I didn't know where Milwaukee was. Let alone where Marquette was. I didn't know where Milwaukee was. I didn't know what state it was in. I didn't know it snowed.
That's
crazy. So I went to Marquette.
You was in for a rude awakening.
Like I was in Houston, basketball shorts and tees. So when I got there, I was like, shit. I was in Wesley Matthews' closet stealing all his jackets, bro. Like, cause I didn't have nothing. Have nothing. I went to literally slippers, basketball shorts, white tees.
So when you got to school, what was that like for you? Like when you started, how was that maturation process?
Absolute fucking worst. Fucking worse.
So wait, Buzz was loving you. He was the one who was keeping it real with you. How did it go to the worst?
He kept it real with me. He did. He said, "Hey, when you get the ball, throw it to one of the fucking good players. Throw it to fucking Dominic James, Wesley Matthews, Azar Hayward, Jerome McNeil." And so when I got in, like he played me because I played hard, and like when the ball went up, I was going to get the ball.
Right.
Now when I got the ball, you could fucking just go to anybody because I wasn't going to shoot it. I was just going to turn around and find one of the good players. So that's how I made my mark in Marquette basketball, and that's how he kept me on the floor. He was like, Jimmy will go get his extra possessions. He'll take a charge here and there, offensive rebound, he's going to get it. You don't got to worry about him shooting it because he's going to give it to one of those four guys.
So how did you get from there, like going from being the guy like, all right, give everybody the ball to like when you getting ready to get up out of there now, you like figuring shit out. I could hoop. You know what I'm saying? You coming into your own. You figuring out like, man, I could hold my own. I could do this.
My role changed. My role changed. Like, my junior year, when all of those guys left, I got the ability to be able to just, shoot a couple bad shots, attack at any point in time. That's what it was.
You put the work in time.
And he put confidence in me to add to the confidence that I already had. Yeah. That's what the game is. It's all mental. It's just 90% mental. Yeah. And the other 10% is like, man, you got to be able to go out and do it.
You got to be physically be able to do it.
But if you think that you can do that, man, you can. And so he was giving me the ball, boom, boom. I never forget my junior year in the tournament, fucking Quincy Pondexter, I watched game. Drove right by my sorry ass game. And I was like, man.
QP.
Man, I was like, that shit's not happening again. So all we focused in on was like, how can you guard somebody? So the next year coming back, I guarded Marshawn Brooks in college.
Oh, that was
a bucket and a half.
He was
a
bucket.
Cardiac Kimber guarded him like in college, like all of those guys.
That's a problem.
Man, that's when Big East was real too.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. It was real. And that's when, I started to take defense a lot more seriously and offense as well. But my offense was always just behind my defense because I locked in on a defensive end.
Yeah.
And I never forget, Wesley Matthews came back. I was like, yo, you can play in the league. I was like, word. And that's when I really started to take basketball for real, for real.
So like being able to be
to go on a higher level.
Yeah.
For real to go
that's when I was like, you know what? Maybe I can be a pro at the highest level. Not Europe pro, nothing's wrong with that. Yeah. But like the NBA, like that's where you want to be at. That's the best of the best. And he came back and told me that, and I was like, shit, why not?
People don't understand how that changed when you get a chance to go out there and be given that freedom to make mistakes and not be worried about if I'm about to get pulled out. Yeah, like you ain't getting pulled out or just getting somebody going crazy on you for one little. Like when you get that little freedom, it's like, all right, I could loosen up. Now I could try. I could kind of go explore this game a little bit.
I had Rip as one of my vets, right? And
Rip.
Oh, that's my
hold that
family. Come on,
Rip.
He used to come to me, and then like he would be injured. Ronnie Brewer would be nicked up. Lou Aldane would be nicked up. So I got to start. But I would play the same way. Tiz was my coach, so I would play the same way. If they was in the game, like when I get in, like try not to make a mistake, like do what's right, don't fuck up so you don't gotta come out the game. So I was playing like that. Timeout came, Rip pissed off. Jimmy, get your dumb ass over, come here. What? He was like, why are you playing like that? And I was like, man, I'm just trying not to fuck up. He was like, I hope you do fuck up. Just so you can see nobody else can come in for you. You're the only one. Like if you fuck up, nobody's gonna come in for you.
It's your time to shine.
And then I was like, damn, that motherfucker right.
Like,
So then I just went out there and started hooping, and I started playing well.
I can remember that. I can remember that whole change and like playing, because I was still in the league playing at that time, and it was like I'm watching. I'm like, he went from like struggling, making mistakes. You could see it physically on your face. You be like trying to figure things out. Then it's like he just started to make plays, play a little more freely, and like figure it out. Then it was like now he like his confidence going through the roof, and now he's starting to figure things out and like hoop.
When you think about how you came into this league, you had to build your game up. You had to work hard, and I think that's what a lot of people who are taking notice to you now don't realize. Like, it took a lot for you to get to this point. Like, when did you realize that I could become an all-star player in this league?
I don't know if you're gonna be an all-star or more so like just belong in the league. Just hang on, You're scratching and clawing at it already, being the 30th pick, last pick of the first round, excuse me. What can you do to make your mark? And out of all coaches, get Tibbs to give you an opportunity to play. He don't want to play rookies. I'm not gonna say that I wasn't that good. I mean, I wasn't that good, but I'm not gonna say that I was just terrible. I wasn't just terrible.
I get you.
And man, to tell you the truth, I studied Lou. I studied the way that he studied the game. I studied the way that he took care of his body. I studied the way
Lou
that Lou Aldane. I studied the way that he did everything, and I was just like, okay, well, he is who he is in the league because he goes back at night and he shoots, and then he beats everybody into the gym to work out, and he's lifting, and he's getting in that cold ass water that I absolutely hate getting in. And I just started to do it. Before you know it, it was habit. And Lou used to always tell me, man, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready, you gotta be ready. I was like, yeah, whatever, Lou. Easy for you to say. You get to start. You get to play 48 minutes. I get it. You're ready. I don't need to be ready. Tibbs never gonna put me in the game until he put me in the game against the Knicks. And out of all people that I had to guard, Carmelo. And I'll never forget it. Derrick comes off of a pick and roll, and I'm standing over there in the corner. He throws me the ball, and I get it, and I'm so wide open. But I'm just like, no, I'm talking, we're national TV. So I just dribble the ball, and I just give it back to him, and I go to the huddle. Tibbs calls a timeout. Derrick walks over to me, and he's like, hey, man, if you're open, shoot the ball. And I was just like, man, I don't know. All I can remember is buzz in college was like, when you get the ball, give it to the good players that belong here, that's done it before. That's all I could hear in my head. And he came up to me and like calmed me, like, yo, when you get the ball, if you open, man, shoot, be aggressive. Same play. And then I remember he threw it to me in the same spot, and I took one dribble, rose up and knocked the shot down. And then that's when I was like, maybe I can play. And then like the next game, I was right back on the bench because Lou was back. But that's besides the point. But I always had it from the beginning. I just got more of an opportunity, and with that opportunity came more confidence. And the more I believed in myself, the more that Tibbs believed in me, the more that my teammates believed in me, the more that my organization believed in me. And then that's just when the All-Star and all that other stuff came.
I want you to talk about, like, because I know you was defensive-minded, but when you put your imprint on the game of oh, I can score on this level too. Like, you started off, you was playing defense, and then all of a sudden, it's like Tibbs depending on you to score now.
Yeah.
You taking more shots, and it's like, oh, I can average 20 in this league. Just with the best of them.
First off, that's hard to do.
It is.
Averaging 20 in the league, man. Knowing that you probably the number 1 or 2 guy on the scouting report. So they're like, yo, we got to stop this guy. It's hard to do. So, for James to be able to do what he do and Steph, and knowing that, like, we got to lock in and we got to try to stop these guys, that's tough.
And the team to need that.
Exactly.
Every
night. And then you got to go down there and do it on defensive end, too. But I just started working on my game. I never worked on my game as much whenever I was in college, in junior college or in high school, because I was like, man, I ain't finna be a pro. Like, I'm from Tomball. I'm not a McDonald's All-American. I had to go to JUCO. Like, I doubted myself. That's why it's funny whenever you hear people say, oh, I knew Jimmy was gonna be that. Stop fucking lying. Like, I didn't even know that I would be here today. You know what I mean? Like, so when people say that, I just be like, yeah, it sound good. It sound good.
It's like two parts to this question. I want to know where you got your competitive edge to always compete every night. Matter if he give you 60 or 50, you made him earn everything he got.
Exactly.
And to continue to keep that competitive edge everywhere you go.
First off, I'm not going back to tomball. Like that's how I keep looking at it, and why people ask like, why you keep doing what you're doing? Yo, look, let me tell you something. I'm not going back to the life that I used to live. That shit is out.
Yeah.
That shit's out. But my competitive edge, that shit comes from the fact that nothing was given to me, man.
Yeah.
Nothing. I had to go to junior college. I had nowhere else to go.
Right.
Like, and then when I got to Marquette, they was like, yo, this motherfucker ain't gonna make it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna show you. That's where it come from. Like, I wasn't that good, so I know what the work can get you. So that's where my competitive edge comes from. Like, I don't care if you was a McDonald's All-American or that you're this. We all bleed the same.
Facts.
And we all got to tie our shoes up the same unless you wear Velcro. Then you can slide your shit and pull the strap over. But other than that, man, we gon' go at it. You don't scare me none. I don't care how big your name is, what your contract is. At the end of the day, you gonna have to. That motherfucker was playing out there today.
Hey. Like it's a price on his head.
That's
when
it.
you see him, it'd be like, man, I see him. I want to
That's
play
it.
against him.
But that's why I play the game, as I tell everybody. Like, I don't do it for the fame. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for nothing. The only reason that I do it is so when I go up against the guys that you can call out, they're gonna be like, that motherfucker go.
It's the ultimate teammate, the ultimate competitor, just the guy that you want to go to battle with.
The definition of a two-way player competing on both ends.
Felicio, no, got to Butler. Good thing. Oh, yes.
9 years on this data. Butler goes strong. Jimmy Butler and a foul.
Trying to get a stop right now and get a bucket in there. Jimmy Butler. Oh, he's feeling it, folks. Jimmy Butler. Oh my goodness! Jimmy Butler! Do what you do, son! And they are all smiles in Chicago. Deflected by Butler, tries to save it, and it finds its way to Robinson. Down to Butler, and Butler throws it down. It's back to a one-point game. Great defensive play and hustle from Jimmy Butler. Butler's got Caruso on it. Goes right at him, and bangs it home. He gets knocked down. Up top to Butler. Butler pulls up. Got it! Jimmy Butler does it again! And the Heat take a 2-point lead. Butler one-on-one with Marquette Morris. Butler drives, falling away. Got it again! Jimmy Butler puts the Heat back up by one.
What do you want people to remember you by?
Winning, first and foremost. Like, I want to be known as a winner. I have to be known as a winner. But other than that,
do you think if it ended right now, that you're known as a winner? Or you'll be known as.
Well, what? There's levels.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. I get
you're not gonna say that I'm a loser.
No, you're not.
But I don't think you can say that I'm a winner. I ain't really done nothing. I'm not afraid to say that. So I got a ways to go.